I don't know who's watching my videos in the last couple of days. Because no one comments on my videos. And I feel like if you don't comment, you're not watching really. Well, I want to document this because some of my family members are actually watching. And they watched my first video and, I cried and they cried with me. I just want to update you guys on my dad. Things have turned for the worse. Something I never would have expected to happen. Last time I updated you guys was Wednesday, I believe. Or Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember the day. Tuesday. Well, let's recap as quickly as I can. Last Thursday, he was throwing up and stuff, and we thought it was a stomach bug. My mom said he threw up black, and I said, Mommy, that's probably blood. He didn't want to go to the hospital, but until Saturday I took him, and I was like, he looked very pale, as he's always been with the chemo and skinny, like, didn't even want to go. And Saturday we went to the hospital, so it's been a week. He was doing good, yeah, sometimes he throws up, whatever. Tuesday we got the news from the CAT scan that the cancer has spread, and we don't know how much time he would have had. Wednesday my mom went to see him. I didn't go see. I didn't see him. The last time I saw him was Tuesday. Let me pause this for a sec. Wednesday, my mom saw him. Thursday, my son got sick and everything, so I was taking him to the doctor. I was near my mom, so I picked her up and she spent the whole day with us. And I didn't have time to take her to the hospital to visit my dad because I wouldn't have been. The last time I talked to my dad was Wednesday. Thursday night around 10 o'clock. 7 o'clock, my mom talked to him and she told him everything. We're going to cure you. You're going to be okay. You're going to come home soon. And then Thursday around 10 o'clock, I get a phone call. And when I get a phone call, it says a hospital. Like, it doesn't say the hospital. It says the town the hospital's in. I knew that wasn't going to be good news. They're like, are you his wife? Are you the one that makes decisions? I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And she's like, your father went under cardiac arrest. And we're really trying hard to get him back. And his pulse is very low. Like, we're really trying hard. What do you want us to do? And I yelled at the lady. I was like, do whatever you need to do to keep my dad alive. And I told her, like, please try to get here. I'm going right now. Like, I remember I was watching the Notebook movie. And I'd already taken a shower, washed my hair. And then the TV was really loud, and my husband was like in zombie mode with his phone, and I was trying to listen to her, but I couldn't really hear a lot of stuff. And I was like, put the volume down, it's an emergency. My husband like clicked out of it and just like zoned. He was like, oh shoot, and he ran downstairs. He didn't even hear what I said. Like, he just knew that it was an emergency. He ran downstairs to his mom, said there's an emergency, and I told him he had a heart attack. Secondly, it's not a heart attack; it's a cardiac arrest. The nurses were actually checking his vitals, and then all of a sudden he lost his pulse. His eyes rolled back. He got real pale, and it was he coded. That's what it's called. And they told me he had 2 cardiac arrests. One that lasted 6 minutes, another one that lasted 10. If God wanted to take him, then he would have taken him. But I feel like I on the way there, which it's 20 minutes to get there, felt like forever. And the way there, I was shaking and everything. I was like shaking, like when you're having a baby and you're in contractions, like shaking, adrenaline. I don't know what it was. And she calls me and she's like, your father's not really doing good. We got his pulse back. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I don't know what it was, or I can't get every detail. And I know, I think she asked me, do you want us to use, I don't know what it's called, the little shocking things. One day I know, once I learn this stuff, I'll learn. Do you want us to do that? I'm like, yes, definitely, yes, do whatever you gotta do, I told her. So that can spread the cancer more. I said, I do not care. The reason I did this, he said he did want to be intubated. If anything happened, one time he changed his mind, but I guess on the paperwork it said, he didn't have a DNR. He didn't have a do not resuscitate. He didn't have that on his paperwork or whatever. So and the main reason I did this was because my brother and sister live in Virginia, I live in Connecticut, and I need them. I can't just let him. If not, we'll just let him go. I've never ran so I just ran in there. People looked at me like I was crazy. I just ran to the elevators, pressed the elevators, and I pressed the seventh floor where he was on. He was in urology floor. And when that elevator closed, I broke down. I was like, God, please don't take him away from me. And I ran where his room was, and the nurse stopped me. She's like, he's not there. He's like, Wilfredo's daughter. I was like, yes. She's like, he's upstairs in the ICU. Oh my God, that's good. He's in the ICU. That means he's alive. And she's like, yeah, he's in, and then they put me in the waiting room for a while because they have to prepare him and everything. When I went in there, it was really hard. I was just laying there with the tube, and just like bug-eyed. It was very scary to look at him like that. He was keeping his eyes open, but he was like jerked like this and his eyes open. And they say he was there. He was like twitching and twitching. It was just so sad. And basically he's not gonna make it. That happened Thursday night. They never sedated him. Everything's on his own, and he's not breathing on his own. Once in a while, he takes a breath. And there was a time that took a lot of breaths by himself and opened his eyes and looked at me. I told him, Daddy, if you can hear me, open your eyes. And he'll open his eyes and try to make eye contact with me. And that's where I tell him I love him, everything. My brother and sister drove up here. It felt like they were taking forever to get here. And being that he had 2 cardiac arrests, no oxygen to the brain. He does have damage to his cerebral cortex, and that's the main part of your brain that does everything. That's where your personality is. That's where everything, what makes you, you. And there's no brain activity going on there. They said, you can give it 1 more day. And even if, the doctor said, even if he survives this, he's never going to recover from it. And on top of it, he still has a terminal cancer. While they were doing CPR, of course, it's normal for the ribs to break, and they fractured his ribs, broke his ribs, whatever you want to call it. He ended up with pneumonia. So he does breathe sometimes, and then he twitches like this, and it's because he's coughing. That's what they told me. First they told me it was just the nerve. Sometimes he moves his feet, but I don't know. We're gonna have to let him go, and it's the saddest thing. My mother's going through so much right now. I just didn't think it was gonna happen this way. Everyone's coming to see him, visit him. It's been a really hard situation, but we're just gonna unplug him on Monday. And they described the process. First they give him a lot of they give him morphine, and then they take the tube out, I believe. I don't know how it works, and then they see the more they're gonna give him as much morphine as they can, so that he doesn't, because I just don't want him to start having a heart attack in front of us or anything. I just don't know. He might last a half an hour or less. I don't know. But it's just been very, very sad. I just can't believe him. My dad was 74 years old. He's going to be 75 this year. Today's August 25th. And my mom and my dad. I think if it's not the 28th, it's the 31st. One of those 2 days. My mom and dad's anniversary. We're going to be married 42 years. It was so sad. I mean, she's having the hardest time with it. And I told her, we're going to be okay, I'm worried for her and she's worried for us. But I know time will heal. And we'll never forget him. And I don't know if he can hear me, but I told him I love him and love him. And I appreciate him. And he's a great grandfather and they love him and we're going to miss you. And that's all I can do. We basically lost him in January, it feels like. And ever since the chemo, he has not been the same person. He hasn't talked and smiled, nothing. I gotta let you guys go. My kids are acting up. If it wasn't for them, I'll be a mess. School and this, and school's about to start Tuesday, but I'm gonna take the week off and the week off of work. I only work the weekend. I'll be back to work. It's gonna keep mine occupied. Mom's gonna come live with us soon. Gotta make some arrangement here. Making my living room a 3-bedroom. I don't know what we're doing, but she can't be alone. She cannot be alone. It's just so sad. Alright guys, thanks for all the prayers. I really appreciate it. Even if you're not commenting, I understand, and I don't think I'm gonna make any more videos. They just say he'll be a vegetable basically if he was to live, and we don't want that's a lot of work for my mother. So yeah, the next video, if anything, guys, I'm gonna take a big break. I'll probably put a video up of memories of my dad, good memories. And I'm at peace because he won't be suffering anymore and I can concentrate. And I'm not quitting nursing because I know he wouldn't want me to do that. At times I said I'm going to quit, I'm not going back to school. But that wouldn't be fair. I do say I might just say this now just because I'm going through this, but I do not want to be a nurse for the ICU. I do not want to be a nurse for ER. I do not want to be a nurse for oncology. And I know you gotta do clinicals, you might have to deal with that stuff, but to do that as a living, it'll remind me too much. Bye.